Well, this was a long hiatus, even though there's like less than 10 episodes of the first season left. But for now, let's talk about the 4 episodes of Total Dramarama, and for the most part, they're kind of hit and miss. What are they? Well, let's find out. Episode 42, Mutt Ado about Owen. In this episode, Harold tries to prove himself that he's a hypnotizing expert, and after one talent show later, he seems to accidentally hypnotize Owen to become a dog. He pretty much does every single dog habit you can think of, from chasing cats, sniffing a dog's butt, and getting captured by the dog catchers. And it's up to Harold and Beth to figure out a way to get Owen back and unhypnotize him. It's a cute concept, I guess, but I kinda seen this scenario before in other hypnotizing episodes, like with Garfield and some of the other cartoons you can think of. I guess it's kinda funny to see Owen act like a dog, but I will admit, there was a nice nod to the original season where Owen eats dog food, because in the first season of the original series, he actually ate dog food in I Triple Dog Dare You. But the reason why this episode is amazing is that pretty much everyone's an idiot here. First off, the dog catchers capture Owen because they think he's a dog. And it's not make-believe, believes he's a dog. Even if Harold and Beth go inside the pound, they disguise themselves as a wizard and a cowboy, and MacArthur is pretty much oblivious about this ridiculous disguise and Owen being a dog. She was also oblivious that she thinks a dolphin is a dog. Number 2, Duncan actually made a fool of himself in the talent show. At the beginning of the episode, Harold tries to hypnotize Duncan to make him think he's a chicken or a dog, but in actuality, he was never hypnotized to begin with. So why did he go along with it anyway? He actually made a fool of himself when he was acting more like a chicken. Even when he uses animal attacks, he pretty much feels ridiculous. Number 3, Owen was never hypnotized to begin with. And I know that's a spoiler, but this also wrecks the entire episode. If he was never hypnotized to begin with, then why in the world didn't he do anything? He could have got released from the pound. This episode would have been over in like 2 minutes. I'll tell you why. There's gotta be a funny joke at the end of the episode where Chev was actually hypnotized, not Owen. But instead of a dog, he acts more like a chicken. And he actually lays some eggs up in a treehouse. Big, ginormous eggs. I have no idea how that happened or how this hypnotism works, but it's actually uncomfortable, and at the same time, it's so stupid. The only thing I remember laughing at is the scene where Izzy goes in court with the Tooth Fairy, because it's actually kind of funny because she's being sued over pulling teeth on purpose. I can't say it's the worst episode. I mean, it's not worse than Free Chili or the Izzy Advice episode or some of the other episodes. But this one, I just feel like the writers were hypnotized from this episode, and they weren't clearly thinking of what they were writing to begin with. Episode 43, Simons Are Forever. So, as I get closer to these Total Dramarama episodes, I say the most entertaining out of all of them is actually this episode. In this one, Chev hosts a Simon Says competition, but in the end, Izzy actually wins Simon Says, but she actually believes that she's still playing Simon Says. This gives Duncan and Lashana an opportunity to use this as an advantage to make Izzy do as they say, as long as they say Simon Says. Though I do wish this entire episode was an entire Simon Says competition, but even though it's not that, they actually did what they can with this because they made Izzy have this ultimate talent that she's an expert in Simon Says. No matter how many difficult challenges Chev, Duncan, and Lashana throws at her, she seems to accomplish them easily. For example, when Lashana Simon Says Izzy to get her a juice box, she steals one for Cody, but Lashana Simon Says her again to get her grape flavor, and she actually finds the grape flavored juice from Cody again because he has spare. That was actually pretty creative. But it doesn't stop there. Duncan Simon Says Izzy to get him a bunch of fizzy pops and pour them down the toilet to create this explosive volcano. And if that's not crazy enough, Duncan Simon Says Izzy to wrestle an alligator she found in the sewer. Oh my, and she actually beats it! Even though those tasks were impossible, she pretty much nails it because it actually fits her character as this crazy girl, and she's crazy enough to win this game, even though it's not a game. If she was in a fan-made Danganronpa YouTube video, I imagine her ultimate talent would be a Simon Says champion. It just goes without saying, but Simon Says, take a look at this episode. Episode 44, Stop! Hamster time. This episode bad. So bad, don't like this! So in this episode, Bridget pretty much turns out her responsibility to look after the class's hamster, Lenny, so Owen volunteers to look after Lenny, but Chef explains the one rule to Owen: he must never feed him human food. The hamster tries multiple ways to get some human food, but Owen got the upper hand to prevent Lenny to do any of those. The hamster tries to kill Owen and even frame him for crimes he didn't commit. The problem with this episode is that it has a cliche that I seriously can't stand, and that's the framing the hero story, like the one from Ninjago Skybound and that Bendy episode from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friend. Well, it doesn't follow it quite exactly. It does contain some of the same elements. It doesn't throw any surprises. Allowing me to explain, Chef actually believes that Owen's responsible for dropping all those heavy objects from the daycare, like a piano and a tractor. If you were caught in the middle of a crime scene and the only witness is this fat kid, would you actually believe he dropped those heavy objects? Of course you believe he wouldn't do this. It's gotta be someone else who did something that's phenomenal. Second, there's a scene where Lenny orders pizza and he frames Owen from ordering pizza. That scene works because it actually fits Owen's character. He's an eater. He likes pizza. That's why that joke worked. It's not a funny joke, but there's a legit reason why Owen could be the culprit for ordering pizza. As you may know in these Framing the Hero episodes, especially the Benny episode from Foster's Home, the villain gets away with everything. Let me put it this way, Chef never figures out that the hamster is evil, and he blames Owen for breaking the rules, especially the second rule he never addressed at the beginning of the episode. So we get a bad ending where Bev now looks over the hamster, and the hamster pretty much wins in the end, even though he never got any human food. The only thing that's kind of interesting in the episode is that we see a flashback on why Lenny's evil, and that's because Bridget accidentally feeds him human food. But aside from that, it's not much. I don't want to watch this episode again, I don't want to see the Framing the Hero cliche again, and I definitely don't want to see Lenny the hamster again. We're sticking with Hamtaro. Episode 45, Driving Miss Crazy. In this episode, it opens with Beth showing her friends that she can control bees, even though in the Izzy Advice episode she was pretty much sick of it. But either way, she gets upstaged by Duncan that he has this cool new bike. After one crazy test ride later, his bike is broken, and Beth believes that she accidentally broke it. So Duncan believes it's only right for Beth to be Duncan's bike for the rest of the day. And Chef actually approves it for some reason. So Beth has to be Duncan's bike until Chef has to figure out how to fix the original bike. Much like the Simon Says episode, this was actually entertaining. Well, I didn't enjoy it that much as Simon's Are Forever, but I didn't think it was that bad. I thought there were some funny jokes with Duncan and Bev and the scene with Chef trying to figure out how to fix the bike. There was actually one fart joke that I actually laughed at. There's a scene where Bev drinks some hot sauce and the fire comes out of her butt. And what's funny about that scene is that it comes into play again during her confession, and the fire actually interrupts her confession because she farted some fire and put the teddy bear on fire. And that was actually funny. The hot sauce joke even comes back later where Duncan forces Beth to give him a sandwich, and it has to be roasted hot. And Beth gets back at him by farting on the sandwich. And it gets even more funny when Beth discovers that she never broke Duncan's bike to begin with, and now she wants revenge on him for messing with her. She calls Noah for help, they tamper with the bike, and Duncan goes on a crazy Roadrunner scene where he goes through all these cartoony hijinks from a barricade to a clown chimney to an anvil factory, and then gets ejected into space. And to wrap it up, Beth breaks the bike on purpose. That has got to be the most entertaining revenge scheme that I've ever seen on a cartoon show. The scene where Chef tries to fix the bike is mostly okay because the reason why he couldn't fix it is because most of the instructions are in German. Which I'm starting to think it was the same joke that Dwayne did in the Redonkulous Race, Like this joke where he couldn't fix Junior's bike and he couldn't ride the boat. So the episode didn't lie, this episode was kinda crazy. We're almost done with the Total Dramarama vlogs, only 6 more episodes to go for the first season, and once we're done with that, I can finally do a 100th review of it. But in the meantime, be sure to like, comment, subscribe me for a new review and other project. I'm Matt Harry Patrick, and I'll see you all very soon.